Hi, this is Chintamani here again. This session is for UNIX shell scripting. Last time we had seen how to write a shell script and execute it. So, one of the examples which we had taken, a very simple example, was just to display hello. The rules for the shell script is you create a shell script, then you give it an execute permission, and then execute from the current directory, or else you need to change the path. Now, in this case, whenever we write any shell script, the first line should be she bang, that is hash and exclamation, followed by the full path of that particular shell, followed by the rest of the commands in the shell script. So when I execute this shell script, it will just display hello. That's it. Okay. So now we have to remember one thing in Unix, that currently I am onto a prompt, which means I have been assigned a shell, and in this case my default shell is the bash shell. If I say echo dollar shell, it will display slash bin slash bash, which means I am using bash shell as of now. On the diagram which is there on the right hand side, you can see uh, some diagram which I have tried my best to draw it. So H stands for hardware. On top of it, there is operating system. Operating system normally has two layers, kernel and the shell. Now the shell here is bash. That's what it means. So suppose you want to check what is that particular process ID, or it's a unique ID, a unique ID which is assigned to this particular process which is currently running and listening whether a user is trying to give a command or not. So in this case, ps minus p and dollar dollar will display that it's a bash shell, and the process ID is 1303. That's why I have written 1303 in one of the concentric circles which belongs to shell, which is written in the diagram as S. So it's having a process ID as 1303. So whenever we run anything on top of a particular shell, if we execute a shell script, it starts a new process. It does its work. In this case, it echoes hello and then comes back to the prompt, which means it comes back to the bash shell. So this is how it works. Now let's try and see one more script through which it will be clear as to what Unix or Linux is actually doing when it runs a particular shell script. For which I have written a shell script already, just to save some time. So this is the particular script. What this is going to do is it is going to pick up the process ID inside the shell script itself. Okay, then it will also pick up and display that when it is running as a separate process, what is its process ID and how all these process IDs are interrelated. Now, first of all, we know that we are into a bash shell and my process ID is 130C. So that's why on the right hand side in the diagram I have written 1303. Let's look at what happens when I actually run this script. So I'll just clear the screen and then execute this particular script. Okay. So when I execute this particular script, it says the bash script is started on top of the current shell. So if you remember, the current shell is having process ID 1303. Now a new shell script I'm running, and that the name of that script is hello.ps.sh. It is now getting a new process ID called 1469. So it's got 14 and 69. That's the process ID which it got. Now, if you see here very carefully on the next line, I'm just expanding this and executing it once again so that it is very clear. So it's now what it is doing here is the bash shell is starting another shell script which I started it, and now what is happening is the new process is 1475. So initially I was running a bash which is highlighted here as 1303. It started a new process and the process ID is 1475. Okay, so 1475. Just let me execute it once again. This is the particular output. Okay, so 1303, and then on top of that there was a shell script which is 1479. At the end I have also printed out the entire process tree. So if you observe carefully, let's start with 1303. This was my bash earlier. I executed one more shell script on top of that, so it started one more process which is 1479. So this is the correlation between this. If you see, the parent of 1303 is 1302 and so on, and it reaches till the process ID 1. This is coming as ps3 because there is a ps3 command inside the shell script. Okay, so in short, what it means is when you start any run any script, sorry, in that case, 1303 here in our case has started another process called 147 and 9. So that's the process ID, right? 1479 started on top of it. If I start one more process inside this, then one more process will start on top of this. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, I hope this is clear, and this is just for understanding purpose how the shell script actually runs. So it keeps running on top of your shell, which is the bash shell. Okay, I hope that you have understood this, especially if you look at this particular shell script. I'll try to post it somewhere and I'll let you know the path so that you can copy paste. So once again, the first line of the shell script is the bash, the full path. Then it is just echoing something, but the important command is ps minus p dollar dollar, which is the second layer just after the shell, which is in this case it was 1479. Then it displayed the correlation between them. So for example, if I execute this, I'm executing it once again just for explanation. If you see this, then 1303 actually started one more process ID. This time it is 1491 instead of 1479. Every time it would be different. Only thing which will remain same is 1303 because I am currently on that particular bash shell. I hope that this is helpful to system administrators as well as any developers who are using shell scripts in their day-to-day work. Thank you from Chintamani, and I'll keep posting further videos on this. Thanks and bye.